Let's go, baby.
Off the turn, they're 3 wide.
Battle for the lead as Pitcock gets out of shape.
Bottom, shot, 3 wide.
He takes the lead back. Dynamite Racing.
We are in week 3 of 2023, and the SK Light Modifieds are headlining the action with the 40-lap Double Down feature race number 1. Extra money on the line, over $2,000 to win. So this pit preview, we're gonna focus on the SK Light drivers, talk to several of them, and tell us how their season has gone and how the race will go tonight.
I feel like we got some good momentum coming in, and hopefully we're gonna keep it up tonight and run 40 big ones. Definitely just gonna have to take it easy the first 15, 20 laps, and then kind of feel out our competition a little bit, see what we got, and hopefully keep the car on track, don't knock the toe out, bump it into anybody by accident or anything, and just keep our head on straight and shoot for the last 40 laps. Got 15 to go. I think is when everybody's gonna get all fired up. Should be good. You're gonna have to just take it one lap at a time. I mean, 1 car a lap's pretty good. So if we could do that, or even a car every 2 laps, I think that's a good start for us.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good car to start the year. Just haven't gotten the finishes that we wanted, but hopefully we can turn it around for tonight. I've been looking forward to this race for a while now and trying to get some redemption from last year. Last year I thought we were the fastest car, and just things happened and tangled going for the lead. So I've had this one circled for a while. I've won the Spring Sizzler, the fall final, and this one in a championship I'd like to knock off my bucket list this year. Same approach, you got to get to the front, got to be smart though. So I like the longer distance races, they fit more my driving style. Hopefully the car is good.
So far we're just mid-pack at the moment. We thought we were really bad last week, but it ended up being a torn up race car, which we were all happy about because we thought we had to go back down and redo the whole setup, but we're happy there's something broken on it. But we're gonna see where we start. Hopefully not get wrecked the first lap like last time. Take it slow, pass one at a time, hopefully bring home the win and the big paycheck. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have some decent speed coming from a 9th and a 5th. We had some good runs, good way to start season, still in one piece. Just got to keep it in one piece for the handicap. But yeah, we're trying some stuff, trying to get a little bit faster like we were last year at the end of last year. We were really fast last year, be able to go through traffic quick, put wherever I want it. Can't do that as much this year, so we've been trying some stuff. Had a lot of late nights in the shop this week with great crew guys here. So, like I said, we made a lot of changes trying to get it fast. The first half of the race just got to keep it one piece especially, and then after that we got to go for it.
I don't know, we lost some speed from last year. We left it behind, so we still got to find that this year. But we have a decent amount of speed, and we got our heads held high for this year. So can't wait to see how it unfolds. Just got to remain calm. You know, we got twice the amount of distance, so twice the amount of time to make our moves. So we just got to, take it easy.
So far, I think the car's been pretty good. We just had the bad luck of a flat tire in the heat race, so we had to run the LCQ. And then we started way in the back and just had no luck getting through the field. There wasn't really many cautions. And then last week, we just got held up on the bottom line, and we made our way back up, and we were racing side by side for the top 6 of us. I'm probably going to take it easy the first 20 and really get down for the last 20. It's an SK Light race at Stafford Motor Speedway. We put on a good show.
Well, the finishes haven't been as good as we wanted, but we've been having a good time, and we reviewed the videos last night and took a lot away with that, and we think it's going to be a good night tonight. Not a lot for me, just got to keep digging the whole time and concentrate, focus on the lines, and don't let any of the traffic bother you, and just keep digging. This year, it seems really hard. Twice I had to restart in the back, and it was really hard passing. Of course, I didn't want to wreck the car, so protecting the car was #1 over the finish. And, it was hard to pass in some situations there. The cars are all over the place, beating, banging off each other. And then towards the front, it's definitely hard also. It's just a tough field.
First race, got an incident heat race, but after that, last week, this thing was a rocket ship. Came from 31st to 15th, and I had a really good lap time in the feature. It's very tough, especially when people are too wide. You just got to try to find the right lane and get around them, really. So it makes the competition even more harder. Really, just this race, the first 20 laps, and then after that, just last 20, you got to go. Try to get to the front as fast as you can. I'm pretty confident with the car. You know, we got a bunch of amazing sponsors on the car, like Airgas, AccuLift, Ferndale Construction, Gothic Zone, Jason Reed Panetta, DePietro's Tire Service, and anyone else. And my Uncle Dave and Aunt Paul this year for amazing support. And yeah, I can't wait to get out there tonight.
I guess just patience, even though the last couple weeks it's like we just kind of got dealt a bad card just because we were, you know, had that bad luck, flat tire in the heat for week 1. But patience is key when you start back there. And last week all I wanted to do was finish the race, and we did that. So I'm feeling good. I mean, I know we're probably going to start further back just because, you know, the first 2 weeks we're out of the handicap, but more laps to get to the front, patience. I'm hoping everybody else will be patient as well. But we definitely have a good piece here, and I'm excited about it.
I mean, it's always difficult starting the beginning of the year with a couple of DNFs because you got to dig back into the handicap. And I mean, you know, the racing gods just weren't on our side the first couple of weeks. You know, a couple of people driving over their head and had a mechanical gremlin, which you can't help. And, you know, just come back at it full force next week, keep digging. That's all we can do. I mean, I think it'll be a little bit better because the last couple of years this race, people are a little more calm the first few laps. And, I mean, starting north of 30 cars in a 20-lap race, you got to pass a car and a half a lap if you're starting in the back. So, I mean, at least it'll be a little bit of time for people to find their grooves, and I hope the rest of the drivers think that way. And, you know, go out there, protect your equipment for the end of the race, and hopefully put on a good show.
Well, there you have it. There's several SK Light drivers you've heard from, and they're ready to go for 40 laps tonight. It's time to go racing. Another Friday night under the lights with Ben Dodge on the call.
Well, there is no question about it, Bonza. We are in for an incredible night of racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Extra distance brings out extra excitement, and I'm very honored and proud to have joining me the gentleman that you just saw on our big screen, Bonza Tufa. Bonza, you've become quite a celebrity here at Stafford.
Oh.
You've got bumper stickers, you've got T-shirts, you have everything going for you, you know, but we welcome you, and you are a tremendous asset and a tremendous broadcaster, and it is an honor. Kyle Rickey's away on assignment with the Motor Racing Network in Charlotte, and we are ready for a very interesting night. Bonza, what did you see in the pit area? You talked with so many different drivers, 10 different drivers at the opening of tonight's paddock area. What did you get the feel and the vibe for? Double dip, 40 laps.
Optimism. I felt like a lot of drivers are optimistic because not only did we talk to drivers who had a great start to the year, people like Amanda West, Tyler Alkis, Joey Farino, they had rough starts to the season.
They
But everyone is optimistic. 40 laps is a lot of time compared to what they normally run, so they think no matter where they start, they got time to work their way to the front.
They certainly do. Well, speaking of time, it is time to present our first qualifying round. These are the street stock division. Car number 37 will be starting at the point. The Charlie's Towing Company car from Columbia, Connecticut for David Masha Sr.
Starting second in car number 69 from Belchertown, Massachusetts, sponsored by Vanished Valley Brewing, it's Bill Cody.
Row number 2 to the inside, PJ Ladola Electrical Contractors brings us the JRT Motorsports car from Bark Hempstead, Connecticut, Travis Downey, car number 42.
Starting fourth in the number 21 from Somers, Connecticut, sponsored by Tri-State Equipment Repair, it's Jason Lafayette.
In the fifth starting spot, it'll be the Hydar Construction car number 11 from Woodbury, Connecticut. Fred Hydar owns the car, and Travis Hydar puts it to the front of the field.
The Meisha's Landscaping 36 is up next from Columbia, Connecticut. It's David Meisha Jr.
Duckbusters Duck Cleaning Service from Ware, Massachusetts is next in the 7th starting spot. Car number 15 for Sean Petlock out of Ware, Mass.
Starting 8th from Somers, Connecticut, sponsored by Tile, Chief Floor, and Wall Coverings, and car 49, Jason Raymond.
Ryan Dyer, YouTube channel special, is up next. Car number 38 in the final row from Scranton, Pennsylvania. It is Patrick Jenks.
And then starting in 10th in car number 26, driving the Renner race car, he will round out the field and build a little bit of gap to the back of the pack. The driver is, well, I don't have the driver.
Well, we'll find that out in just a few short moments. The distance will be 5 laps. 6 cars will be transferred. With the snap of the wrist, the first green flag in tonight's double event for the SK Lights goes green. And at the top of the field, it is a big orange car. That is car number 37 for David Masha. Masha Sr. is leading the pack, but Bonzer, look at Travis Downey. He's wasting no time at all to reel him in.
And Masha Sr. slides way up the track through 3 and 4 and opens the door for Downey, who takes the lead. And here comes Travis Hyder to take second. Masha Sr. in half a lap falls to from first, possibly back to 4th.
You got to keep your eyes on Travis Hyder, that purple and yellow number 11 car, setting within striking distance in the number 2 spot. Meanwhile, Jason Lafayette is moving forward, and just in front of him is Bill Cody. Single file, top 5 cars as they come back to the line.
Number 26 Renner race car is driven by John Snyder, by the way. Top 5 qualified into the handicap. Right now, it's the 37 of David Masha Sr. that has the final spot, while they're side-by-side for 6 between Kyle Johnson and Sean Petlock.
A key position is position number 6. 6 cars to make the transfer. Off the turn, he's reeled him in. He's in striking distance. Leader of the pack is still, at this particular point, a strong battle between the number 42 of Travis Downey and Travis Hyder. Hyder runs in his tire tracks. Bonza, he's going to make a bid for it. These two have been fierce competitors for quite some time. What's going to happen off turn 4?
Got 1 lap to go in the heat. Travis versus Travis. Downey 3 wins last year. Hyder 5 wins plus the championship. Bumper to bumper through 1 and 2. Is Hyder going to give it a shot? Half a lap away, he takes a look to the inside off of turn 2.
Well, they've been watching Keith Rocco, and you know how he is patting turn number 3 here at Stafford. But the leader, Travis Downey, guards the spot. Lapped automobile coming off the turn. Down to the stripe they come, and the checkered flag is out. Travis Downey to take down the win. Travis Hyder to finish in 2nd. Bill Cody, the 69, will finish in 3rd. Jason Lafayette is 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is David Masha Sr. Bonza, what have we got for the rest of our field?
Kyle Johnson 6th, Sean Petlock 7th, Jason Raymond 8th, David Masha Jr. 9th, and John Snyder rounds out the 10-car field, which leads us to the 2nd heat.
Sure does, and in round number 2, car number 01, he's a former champion. Driving the Moose Hill Lock Camping Resorts machine, it's Johnny Walker out of Agawam, Massachusetts.
Starting in the outside the front row in car number 80 from East Hartford, Connecticut, sponsored by Back Road Smoke & Barbecue, Tyler Trott.
This is going to make us hungry talking about all this food. Rico's Pizza will bring us car number 71 from position number 3 from Stafford, Connecticut for Marvin Minkler.
Starting on the outside of the second row is car number 51 from Ellington, Connecticut. Jet Electric gives us Burt Woolett.
This guy is sizzling hot in 2023. The Fairway Mortgage, Mike Rogers' team, Nick Bendiak car from Danielson, Connecticut. Car number 31 for Ryan Waterman.
In the 6th spot, sponsored by PS Engines from Naugatuck, Connecticut, the driver of car number 18, Cindy Stirk.
4 rows back, starting position number 7 appropriately goes to car number 7, the All-Star Duck Solutions car. Connor Aslan owns the car from Granby, Mass. It's Jeff Aslan.
Starting in the 8th spot is car number 83 from West Suffield, Connecticut, sponsored by Mark's Property Maintenance. It is Ryan Perry.
And then we'll have another one of the rental race cars machine picking up at the rear of the field as we check on the driver of that for you as well. If you've just joined us, good evening. Welcome to the show. If you're down enjoying the view from the patio for the double hook lounge and bar area here at the Speedway. Great adult beverages prepared just the way that you want them, and enjoy the view from that location as well. Please remember, the main grandstand here at the Stafford Motor Speedway is a non-smoking grandstand. That includes the use of vaporized products. They are not permitted, and you can use them at other locations, but the main grandstand is not the ideal location to do so.
The number 22 is driven by Kevin Foote.
Okay, let's hope Kevin Foote's got a big right foot and he can get right to the front of this field. Lights are off on the safety vehicle at the point in this evening's presentation. We're ready to get them fired back up as they come rumbling off the turn. Tony LaFoe, one of our previous outstanding drivers here at the track on a regular basis, is the leader in the pace car. As the green comes out a week ago, Johnny Walker made it a point to say, I would not be running as well as I have been if it wasn't for another team. That was the team of car number 14. And of course, he was openly said, this car's going to get faster and quicker. And Bonza, I think he's doing just that.
Well, he's already opened up just about a 1-second lead over second place Tyler Trott. Waterman makes it 3 wide, tries to go from 5th to 3rd down the front stretch and makes it work. And he's not done yet. He goes under Trott and takes second spot.
While he does that, right behind him is another colorful driver here at the Speedway, Bert Ouellette. This kid can light up a room. He is enthusiastic. He lives right down in the street here in Crystal Lake, and he has now worked his magic to go into position number 3. While all that has been happening, Marvin Minkler, car 71, he had some health issues in the offseason. Nice to see him do well. He moves into position number 4.
Marvin Minkler coming off an incident last week, spun out in turn 1 and then got hammered in the right side by Sean Petlock, but he got the car put back together, and so far he is in the top 6. And the top 6 is important, Ben, because those are the ones who qualify into the handicap.
Sure is, and Jeff Asselin is setting in the 6th and final transfer spot. Ryan Perry is 1 away, but there is some good action back there. 3 of the 5 laps into the record books. Leader is Johnny Walker, a former champion. Remember that legendary hat he used to wear?
Yes,
in
the
winner's
wicker.
circle? Yes. So let's hope that we can see that hat in victory lane for this evening's presentation. Final circuit as they head down in turn number 3.
Tyler Trott was in the top 6, but he's pulled it onto pit road, so he's out of the handicap. Johnny Walker leads. Waterman is closing in. It's down to 2 car lengths, but time is running out. Here's Johnny Walker to take the checkered flag.
Walker will take down the win. Ryan Waterman, great run for 2nd. Bert Ouellette, equally as impressive for the 3rd spot. Marvin Minkler will finish in 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is Jeff Asselin, who took down the final transfer spot.
The 83 of Ryan Perry after Tyler Trott had to pull it on the pit road with 1 lap to go. Cindy Sturck finished 7th, Tyler Trott 8th. Kevin Foote rounds out the 9-car field.
Well, coming up next on our schedule, if you've just joined us, is our late model division. The distance for these qualifying events will be 8 laps. The story will be 7 cars to transfer. So coming up next, our late models, we refer to them as our full fendered frenzy division. Why is that? Because over the years, we've seen some incredible competition here. 2 qualifying rounds, and car number 61 will be starting at the point. This is the Blake Company car from North Haven, Connecticut. It really did quite well for himself last week before mechanical woe took him back out of the competition. It's John Blake out of North Haven, Connecticut.
On the outside of the front row is the 87 car, sponsored by Myers Crazy Hollow Creamery. It is Chris Meyer from North Franklin, Connecticut.
Row number 2 to the inside, the Green Knolls landscaping car from Monroe, Connecticut for Dwayne Knoll.
Starting in the 4th position is the green number 4 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, sponsored by Square Peg Pizzeria, Tom Butler.
In the 5th starting spot, it'll be the Tavern on the Tracks car. Car number 39, a familiar name in this division for Paul Verrecchio Jr.
Starting 6th from Durham, Connecticut, sponsored by DMW Graphics, car number 42, Michael Ray.
Here's one of the big dogs in the division, the Lavigny Law Machine, car number 23 from Ellington, Connecticut, an all-time great veteran driver, Kevin Gambacorda.
Another big-time driver in this division starts right next to him in position number 8, car number 92 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. King Gray Coach Lines gives us Tom Fern.
And starting in position number 9 is car number 9, a graduate from our street stocks, the A6A Associates Bob Sturck Jr. owned car from Naugatuck, Connecticut, car number 9 for Bobby Sturck III. This is a 8-lap event with 7 cars to transfer as they head down the back straightaway. And I think all eyes at the start of this one are going to be on Gamba Corda and Tom Fern. Would you agree with that, Bonza? Because they've got the record that shows they can get to the front.
Absolutely. 8 wins between those two drivers last season. Tom Fern already has a win this year. Gamba Corda is looking for one.
Out in front, quickly is car number 61, and wasting no time at all is John Blake. Blake said last week he had something 3 wide. Who was the meat in the sandwich there? As they head down the back straightaway, Gamba Corda is on a move. Ray is stuck with Tommy Fern, and they just got in the wrong lane.
Yeah, Verrecchio made it 3 wide, and the biggest loser goes to Dwayne Knoll. He started up in the front 2 rows. Well, he's already fallen outside the top 5, is in danger of losing a position in the handicap.
Yes, he is, as they work their magic coming off the turn. Meanwhile, we can see the 23 of Kevin Gamba Corda trying to close up the gap on Verrecchio. That's for the 3rd spot. Here comes Tom Fern on clue, and another great driver from Stafford, Tommy Butler in the Mean Green Machine. If you haven't been to that new pizza place, you got to try it out, as he is a guy that's looking racy for position number 6. 7th is Red.
Butler's got to find his way to the bottom quick, though, and he tried to fill the hole, but Michael Ray's not going to let him in. They are inches apart coming off of 4, but Butler's able to hold off Ray and file to the bottom lane.
Well, you see Tommy Fern coming through the front of the field like the old hot knife through butter. He is just making his presence known. Fern follows Gamba Corda towards the front of the field, halfway down and halfway to go. John Blake said he found something during the week, and obviously it is paying off. He is out in front. The differential between 1st and 2nd of Myers is .484.
Well, Blake is running the car he was going to run last year, but an open practice wreck destroyed that car, and he had to run the old car he ran 2 years ago when he won a late model race. So now he's got the new car back, and so far off to a good start leading this heat.
I think he's smiling from ear to ear inside that race car because he is doing a great job. Chris Meyer doing equally as impressive with car number 87, setting in the comfort zone in 2nd. Gamba Corda is reeling him in. Who is the fastest car on the racetrack? Well, it's no surprise, it's Tommy Fern. Fern is reeling in on Gamba Corda. Here they come back to the line. It is 2 circuits to go, 1 mile left in the competition here.
Michael Ray is looking underneath Tom Butler in the battle for 6 as Gamba Corda gets underneath Chris Meyer in the battle for 2nd. Gamba Corda coming off a 2nd place finish last week after his car really came alive in the long run.
Gamba Corda showing his muscle. Tommy Fern gets squeezed to the bottom. White flag is out. The battle is for the 3rd spot. Fern continues to run right there on the inside, challenging as Meyer sets in the 3rd position. Will he just back off just a bit and settle for a handicap position of 4, or will he make a bid for it? I think he's a racer. He's going to try. Here they come, Bonza.
Fern gave it a shot, a little bit of contact, but it's not enough as the heat goes to John Blake, with Kevin Gamba Corda finishing 2nd. Meyer able to hold off Tom Fern in 3rd, so the 92 will have to settle for 4th, while Paul Verrecchio Jr. rounds out the top 5.
The 2 other cars that'll be in the handicap is our 6th place finisher, car number 4, Tommy Butler. 7th was Michael Ray, the 42. Dwayne Knoll was 8th, missing the handicap by 1, and Bobby Sturck, the 3rd, would round out the top 9. Coming up next in the Speedway is our 2nd qualifying event for these competitors, and it will look like this. Car number 89 will be starting at the point, no stranger to winning titles and running up front here at Stafford. The Green Knoll Landscaping car from Putnam, Connecticut, it is Zach Robinson.
Starting 2nd is car 69 from Reading, Massachusetts, sponsored by Ciriello Motorsports. It's Richard Ciriello.
Row number 2 to the inside. When he was a limited late model champion, they called him Bam Bam. Driving the Payless Auto Glass machine from Chicopee, Massachusetts, car 43 for Andrew Duran.
In the 4th spot is car 79, sponsored by Big Kahuna Racing and Jarmark Farms from Enfield, Connecticut, Daryl Keene.
Here's a combination and a team that has been very strong, getting closer. The Springfield Thunderbirds PTG Enterprises car from Fairfield, Connecticut, car number 10 for Wayne Corey Jr.
Outside of the third row is our defending champion from Granby, Massachusetts, sponsored by Meadows Motor Car, car 97, Adam Gray.
4 rows back to the inside, starting position number 7, the Safeco Foams machine. Here's a kid with talent from Hamden, Massachusetts. Stu Fern owns the car, and Ryan Fern is the driver.
And right next to him is his sister, car number 12 from Hamden, Massachusetts, sponsored by Broadbrook Brewing. It's Alexandra Fern.
Starting scratch will be the Northeast Sheet Metal car. Chris Welch owns the car from Pawcatuck, Connecticut. Very talented open wheel driver, Jacob Perry, with car number 00. Now, Perry had some problems in practice today with that race car. It's a new car for him, and they're just trying to get the bugs out of it as we speak. It appears that Alexandra Fern has decided to drop to the rear of the field. I think, Bonza, we saw last week she had some mechanical woes in qualifying as well.
Something's up with her car right now,
yes,
I think.
same thing I think has happened again, but now it started to go for a second and then suddenly dropped off the pace. Our race director for this evening's presentation is, of course, one of the legendary part of the Scambata racing family, Chris Scambata, filling in for Scott Tapley, who's not here with us this evening. Tommy Fox, the overseer of everything at Race Control. Green flag quickly comes out, and the story is going to be a battle right at the point. Zach Robinson and Andrew Duran. Duran gets shuffled on the outside, and Darrell Keene, well, Bonza, he was one of the quickest cars in practice, and he's got to be quick because Adam Gray's right on his back bumper.
Keene's been fast pretty much the first 2 races of the year. Unfortunately, last week it was a flat right front tire that cost him a chance at a good run, but so far so good, making his way up to second right behind Zach Robinson, while Adam Gray looks to the inside of Andrew Durand for third.
And very sadly, Alexandra Fern's car is stuck on pit road. Mechanical problems is a story for her 2 weeks in a row in qualifying. Wayne Corey steps out of the line. That's a white and orange number 10 car. It's bidding for the 4th position. Andrew Durand shakes him off, the white number 43, as Corey has to settle back in for 5. Up front, Keene is all over Zach Robinson. Car does a little bit of a twitch coming off the turn, and here comes Adam Gray. Adam Gray not only is a champion here at Stafford, but he is a closer. You will see him just use enough of his equipment up to get the job done, only when it's needed.
Well, back in the season opener, we didn't talk much about Adam Gray during the race, but where did he finish? Second, and he just kind of quietly made his way up there. Didn't make a lot of noise, but it doesn't matter how much noise you make as long as you get the result.
That's right, and he has gotten the results. His dad is a legendary driver as well. As they head down the back straightaway, Zach Robinson showing it is no fluke that he got the opportunities to run this race car. He is a former champion in our street stock division, coming off turn number 4, single file, pretty much the entire top 7. And that is where you want to be among those preferred starting spots.
They go through 1 and 2 right now, and the gap between 7th and 8th is pretty sizable. So the 00, which is Christopher Buffone, he doesn't have to try too hard because in the big picture, he's in the handicap anyway. So the top 7 are pretty close together, single file. All these cars are so equal, they're so tight, it's just so hard to try and make a move without making a mistake.
It certainly is. If you step out of line, you are going to get shuffled back. Now, Wayne Corey tries to get a nice run off turn number 2. That's the orange and white number 10 car, following in the tire tracks of the 43 of Duran. Speaking of white, the white flag is out. Less than a half a mile, it's all going to be history.
Wayne Corey Jr. took a look to the inside of Durand in the battle for 4th, but the 43 is able to hold on for now. Goes a little bit wide off of 2. Corey's not done yet. He's still trying to take that 4th position.
Certainly is, and while that is happening, here comes Ryan Fern. He's not to be left out of the big dance. Checkered flag is out. Zach Robinson will take down the win. Darrell Keene will finish in 2nd. Adam Gray for 3rd. Andrew Durand for 4th. Wayne Corey for 5.
Ryan Fern finishes 6th. Chris Buffone is the last to qualify in the handicap in 7th. Richard Siriello finishes 8th, and Alex Fern doesn't even complete a lap. It looked like that car was shaking on the front straightaway, vibrating, and she pulled it on the pit road, finishes dead last.
Well, her luck has got to change soon. She's a very competitive young lady. You know, Bonza, we talk about the class of female drivers at this racetrack. There is no other racetrack in the country that has the quality of female contestants in the race program. They are all impressive, and they are all here to do one thing: to win and race hard.
I mean, it might sound biased, but it's true because Alex Fern has 25 wins at Stafford. Megan Fuller has 10 wins. We saw Cassandra Cole fighting up at the front of the field last week. There's a bunch of ladies on the track that are very competitive as we prepare for the limited late models as they make their way onto the track.
Story again is 8 laps, 5 cars to transfer in this one. And car number 23, Devin Jensick out of Canton, Connecticut. The Genco construction car will start at the point.
Starting in the second spot is the 22 car from New Hartford, Connecticut, sponsored by Days Cannabis, Gary Patno.
Row number 2 to the inside, the Gendron Auto Parts, Garrett's Carpentry car. Kurt Cormier owns the car. From Agawam, Mass, it is Kevin Cormier, car 14.
Outside of the second row is our two-time champion from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, sponsored by Lavoie Racing. It's Jeremy Lavoie.
Utility Service of New England brings us car number 18 from Wethersfield, Connecticut, part of the Clement Racing family, Scott Clement.
Starting 6th in car number 42 from Durham, Connecticut, sponsored by Daddy-O Honey, it is Dana Ray.
And then it's the Scott Nordman race car, the SRD Motorsports machine from Harrisville, Rhode Island. We mentioned strong female drivers. Here's another one, car 82, Samantha Dell.
And rounding out the 8-car field, a newcomer to the division coming from the street stocks from Plainville, Connecticut, sponsored by CSB Communications, and car number 19, Adrian Paradise III.
You know, that automobile is a really unique car. It has one of the most unique bodies on it of any car in the field. And Adrian Paradis earned his credentials competing in our street stock division here, and he did it week after week, always up front, always got a big smile on his face. And he said, I just want to be consistent and know that I'm good and deserve to be in this class. And I think he's already proved that. Bonza, they come off turn number 4. It's your call as they come back to the line.
Devin Jensick on the inside, Gary Patnode on the outside. 5 cars qualify for the handicap, and it's Devin Jensick that gets the jump into turn 1, while Kevin Cormier looks to follow suit underneath Gary Patnode for second.
Well, Cormier has been a racy race car every time he's been out here at Stafford this season. Lavoie, what can be said that we haven't said about Lavoie? He is a champion of champions coming from a championship family. Car number 6 moves in to take over third, but we've got a bid for the lead. Bottom shot move, turn 1.
Cormier is not wasting any time, quickly going from third to first in a lap and a half. Car number 14 to the front. He won last week, looking to go back-to-back. He's been on a roll since the second half of 2022.
And just as he made it look so easy to take over the lead, Jeremy Lavoie follows him through. One car made the opening and made the hole, and the other car went in equally as impressive. Top 2 are good. Let's shift back and find out where and who is battling in the top 5. And who is setting in the 5th spot? Well, it is Adrian Paradis with car number 19. He started scratch. And
he's got a big gap back to 6, so he's in a good spot when it comes to the handicap, but let's see how much ground he can make up because he's got a long ways to go to get to Gary Patnode in 4th.
Sure does, and the action still continues as they head down the back straightaway. Patnode is reeling in on our early leader, which was Devin Jensick. Coming off the turn, cross flags in the air indicate halfway down and halfway to go. Lavoie has a car that really sticks wherever he puts it on the racetrack. But you have to give credit, and Kevin Cormier, who was helping Johnny Walker, that team, a week ago, is showing a lot of potential and muscle here tonight.
In the second half of the year, Cormier had the best average finish among everyone in the limited late models. His average finish was a 3rd. So even though he was a rookie last year, he's not new to racing. He's been racing elsewhere before coming to Stafford, and he's really adapted to these cars, which are very different from where he raced up north.
It certainly is, but you wouldn't know it because he's done a really impressive job of getting the job done. 2 laps remain in this event. That's 1 mile left in the competition, and that time Kevin Cormier's car got a little loose coming off turn number 4, but he manhandled the automobile, driving by the seat of his pants as he continues to set the pace. Now let's go back to third. Bonza, we've got a battle there and a new third-place car.
Gary Patno gets underneath Devin Jensick to move up to the 3rd spot, but he gets a little sideways in the middle of 3 and 4, and that allows Jensick to reel him in momentarily as the white flag waves for Kevin Cormier in front.
Well, the white flag is out, and we are on the final circuit. Bid for it again. Lavoie tried it to the inside of the apex of turns 1 and 2. It didn't happen, but Kevin Cormier is showing he is going to be a fierce competitor in this class. Little bump drafting as they come off the turn and back to the line.
Cormier takes down the heat race win. Jeremy Lavoie will take 2nd. Gary Patno 3rd. Devin Jensick 4th. And Adrian Paradise the 3rd rounds out the top 5.
So there you have it. Round number 1 is now into the record books, and our second qualifying round will be rumbling onto the racetrack is next. In the second qualifying event, same story, deja vu. It is 8 laps with 5 cars to transfer. And at the point will be car number 87. This young man a year ago proved that he was a winner, visiting Victory Lane for the very first time. The Casa Grande Builders Machine DP Motorsports car from Willington, Connecticut. We call him the Pride of America. He wears an American red, white, and blue cowboy hat. It is Damon Pilardi out of Willington, Connecticut.
And starting 2nd is our defending limited late model champion from Tolland, Connecticut, sponsored by Wheeler's Auto Parts. It's Rich Hammond.
Here's a feature event winner, and he is a serious racer. The Utility Service of New England car. Brian Clement owns the automobile from Wethersfield, Connecticut. Car 59 for Matt Clement.
Starting 4th is not only a newcomer to the Limiteds, a newcomer to Stafford, period. From Springfield, Vermont, Barris Cleaning Services gives us Matthew Winter the 2nd.
In the 5th starting spot, it is car number 17, the ARI Spray Foam Machine. Don Jensick owns the car, and Connor Jensick sets behind the wheel from Canton, Connecticut.
Starting 6th in car number 10 from Mansfield, Massachusetts, sponsored by GP Fence, it's Pete Slavin.
And car number 20 will be starting scratch in the event. Position number 7, the Doug Home Improvements car from New Salem, Massachusetts. Doug Phelps owns the car, and Christopher Phelps sets behind the wheel of car number 20. We also want to mention tonight, we said that Scott Tapley is not here with us. He will be missed, but our good buddy Gunny is also at race control, calling the action as well. Gunny, of course, is respected highly as one of the best in the business, along with Chris Gambado. So there's a few changes and a little shuffle of the deck, and believe me, Bonza, they have the toughest jobs in the house. If we were going to apply for a position, we would not go there, either one of us.
It is the most thankless job, because anytime someone's talking to you, it's not for a positive reason, but they do a great amount of work. They're awesome at their job. It's just sometimes we don't realize what we have until they're gone.
That is so true, and it is a very, very difficult position. Down the back straightaway, if you're watching on Flow a little bit later in the program, or you're with us on Facebook Live, you see the beautiful billboards in the back stretch. Please support these individuals and tell them you heard about it right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Coming off the turn, very slow, this group of cars. They're being rather cautious, but it looks like Damon Pilardi has enough giddy up to get the job done. But Rich Hammond, the defending champion, he's an old school kind of a guy, good guy. Wherever he is on the racetrack, he runs hard. He never gives up any ground. And there's Matt Clement. So those are 2 of the cars that you're going to be watching in the feature event to be running towards the front of the field. And Bonzer, it looks like we're going to see some 3-wide action pretty soon.
Damian Pilardi leads the way while they're side by side for 2nd spot. Matt Clement to the inside. He takes the position away from Rich Hammond. Matt Clement, our winner on opening day in the gold car. It's in the throwback to Dale Jr.'s Bass Pro Shop super late model that he ran last year or this year.
Last year, I think it was.
Yes.
It was very, very impressive, and this car is very impressive for him. He is now closing up the gap, running in that number 2 position, and the margin is just .321. So there isn't much there, and it's getting tighter and closing up. Now, Hammond, he might be playing a little cat and mouse action because he has kind of backed out of it, and he is perhaps thinking I just need to be in one of these transfer spots. I don't need to do anything crazy. I don't think that's the story up front. I think Clement is working over Damon Pilardi, and that youngster, he is a real racer. He came from the Monday Night Cards programs, and I know, Bonza, you're very familiar with so much talent that comes from there.
Yeah, Damian Pilardi, one of many drivers at Stafford today that are racing on Friday nights that got their start on Monday nights, but Pilardi's got some pressure from behind. Here's Matt Clement to the inside, trying to take the lead as we're past halfway in the heat.
As they head down the back straightaway, they'll be door handle to door handle as they get on the gas in between turns 3 and 4. Gold car to the inside, Matt Clement, car 51. Pilardi has been the leader for the first circuits, but now it's all changed. Second leader of the event comes car number 59. Matt Clement's got a racy race car tonight. Pilardi settles back in, and now Hammond decides, after seeing Clement make the move, he wants to move in, and we've got 3 cars contending at the point.
We got 2 laps to go, and they cross the stripe. It is Matt Clement out in front. Meanwhile, back in 4th, Matt Winter, the second, made a little bit of contact with Connor Jensick off of turn 4. They're side by side for that 4th position, and the battle will go to Matt Winter, the second, after he crashed in his heat race last week.
Well, imagine this. They are among the top 5 transfer cars, so they have to settle in and relax a bit because we've got 1 circuit to go. Matt Clement showing why he was the big winner in our opening event of the season. Damon Pilardi showing why he won a year ago. And the champ, well, he is the champ, the defending champion. And that is Rich Hammond setting in the 3rd spot. Single file back to the line, and it looks like Matt Clement has an impressive qualifying run. He will take down the victory here. Damon Pilardi in for 2nd, Rich Hammond for 3rd. And here is the battle for the 4th and the 5th spot. And it looks like Matt Winter will take down the 4th spot.
And then Connor Jensick will finish 5th, Pete Slavin 6th, and Christopher Phelps will round out the 7-car limited late model heat. And now the pace starts to pick up a little bit, Ben, because the SK Modifieds are next.
That's right. The fastest division of the night will come rumbling onto the racetrack. The division, no matter where you go, Bonza, and we travel all over the place, there is one division that everybody's talking about. It's always the SK Modifieds and the competitiveness here at Stafford. The car that starts on the point in the first of 3 qualifying heats was among the quickest car in practice today. The Mr. Reuter Plumbing Company, Vinny Beadle-owned car from Branford, Connecticut. Car number 7, they call him JP. It's Jonathan Pulio.
On the outside of the front row is a long-time racer at Stafford. Car number 96 from Canton, Connecticut, sponsored by Brainerd Motorsports. It's Kurt Brainerd.
Row number 2 to the inside. This is the Fowler's Auto Wrecking Machine. Todd Owens owns the car. From East Hampton, Connecticut. This guy's got talent. His luck has not been with him lately. Hopefully it'll change tonight. Car 25 for Anthony Flannery.
Starting 4th from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, sponsored by Preschool of the Arts, in car number 23, Wesley Rucker.
3 rows back, position number 5. Keep your eyes on this kid. He's going places in motorsports. The Wheelers Auto Service Center. John and Mania Rafano car from North Haven, Connecticut. He's looking sporty tonight. Brand new fire suit carrying the colors of Italy. Car number 88 from Marcello Rafano.
Another driver that's looked sporty this year is car number 21 from Newtown, Connecticut, sponsored by Newtown Pools, Stephen Kopchik.
And then we go to starting position number 7, the Hummel Brothers Hot Dog Machine. John Hummel and Eddie Flemke Jr. prepares the racework car from Farmington, Connecticut. Another big dog in this class, Corey DiMatteo.
And how about this? Starting 8th, car number 28 from South Salem, New York, sponsored by Lou Delicio Auto Body. It is Teddy Hodgden.
And starting in the 9th starting position, Rich Gattro out of Orange, California, believe it or not, in the Fleetworks Incorporated car, and Rich owns the car as well. Here they come. Off turn number 4, a youngster versing the all-time veteran, JP, Jonathan Pulio. To the inside, bottom lane works. There's some magic there. Here comes Flannery into contend, and Marcello Rafano nipping at the heels, already in the 4th spot, but he isn't done yet. As they come off turn number 4, 3 wide, and the 25 of Flannery gets shuffled. to the bottom of the top 5, Bonza.
Oh, that was a bold move by
Big
Rafrano
time.
in 3 and 4, but he made it work and moves up to second. And here comes Corey DiMatteo, who started towards the back of the field. He looks underneath Brainerd for 3rd.
Well, Brainerd's stuck in the outside lane. Stephen Kopczyk, who's always a quick car here at Stafford, he's making his presence known on the inside. Remember, 5 is the transfer spot, and they are bidding for just that. All of a sudden, Kopczyk shakes him off. Look up front, 2 red cars and a brand new leader. Marcello Rafrano, the pride of Italy, puts his car to the front of the field. Jonathan Pulio smooches his back bumper, 1st and 2nd, nose to tail.
Rafrano got a little bit tail happy coming off of 4, but that car is locked in right now. Battle for 5th is tight. That's the final spot to transfer in the handicap. It's 4 cars under a blanket. Wesley Prucker, Kurt Brainerd, Teddy Hodgson, and Anthony Flannery.
Look at that battle. They are in like a swarm of bees that have been rattled in the nest. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, the 23 of Prucker, he gets a break. He's in the 5th spot. But right there with him is a fierce competitor, Teddy Hodgson. Brand new ride for Hodgson tonight as he looks racy to the bottom of the racetrack as well. Side by side, nobody's giving up an inch.
Hodgson to the inside, Prucker to the outside. Hodgson, we've never seen him in this ride. We've seen him in the 55, we've seen him in the 22, but the car that Nick Giardina normally drives, it's Hodgson now. Further up, battle for 2nd. Corey DiMatteo to the inside of Jonathan Puglia with 2 to go.
No question about it. The Island Cove machine wants to be on an island of his own. The Blue Hummel's hot dog machine relishes the idea. You get that, Bonza? He will move into 2nd, and right behind him will be Pulio. Pulio went from the lead back to the 3rd spot. White flag is out. And I think Stephen Kopczyk is just riding this one out, trying to save his tires. Maybe that is the smartest move of the night.
Close call in the front stretch. It looked like Prucker's front bumper got hooked with Flannery's back bumper. They both got sideways but kept it straight. Off of 4, it's Marcello Rafrano that will take the win in the first SK Modified heat. Corey DiMatteo finishes 2nd, Jonathan Pulio 3rd, Stephen Kopczyk 4th, and Teddy Hodgson rounds out the top 5.
So, and just out of the top 5, Anthony Flannery with car number 25. Wesley Prucker drops back to 7, and Kurt Brainerd will finish in the 8th spot. You know, Bonza, a lot of people have been tuning in and watching us on Facebook Live and all the other forms of social media. If you haven't done so, it's not too late. You can sign up for FloRacing. If you don't have it, and you can continue to be with us as Bonza Tuffer and Ben Dodge welcome you. And we are excited about tonight's program. Double action for the SK Lights 40 laps of distance.
And we want to mention FloRacing now has a monthly subscription plan on
It's
top of their yearly plan.
Great value.
So you have more options to get the subscription, and the subscription is well worth it. So much racing on there, especially